Hoffman, Everyday Spacer.
I'm Jeff Miller, CME Computer and IT Solutions.
At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 6 a.m. on Saturday in Germany. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California. Thank you so much for being here. We have lots of comments already. Let's do that.
Okay. Dan.
Hey, Dan. Welcome.
Everyday Spacer Knots. And Chaz.
Welcome.
Dan. And Dan says Spacer Nuts. Well, I'm not going to say not nuts.
Oh boy.
He commented early enough that I had time to think of that.
I see.
Chaz. Yes, Dan. I apologize to my fellow Spacer Nut. Please forgive me, please. Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
Happy rainy Friday. Yep.
Yeah, just in time for the aurora that's supposed to come way south. Well, yep. We looked last time, we couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's but hey, this is Southern California. We could use the water.
Yes, we can.
And
is that Scott? Hey, Scott.
Yes. Hey, Scott. Yeah, it says, hello, everyone. That was good news about the old Farmer's Almanac still being in print. I did not even know there were two different ones. Yes.
I did.
Yep, because we once got the wrong one by accident, and we're very confused about what wasn't in there. Yeah, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, he says.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that is my exciting news. Thank you for the warm up on that, Scott. The old Farmer's Almanac, the one I prefer, isn't going anywhere. I got this really nice email yesterday, something. Dear readers, last week I learned that another longtime almanac has ceased operations. I want to let you know that the old Farmer's Almanac isn't shutting down. In fact, we're thriving. We are 234 years strong. And that was what confused me, because Janie looked it up and she was saying 208 years. And I knew we had a 2-something more anniversary not that long ago. So I was kind of confused, but now I understand why. So I love this. Just as with the first edition, we're constantly in conversation with our readers and use your feedback to keep us relevant. So Jeff had a suggestion. Why not contact them and see if they would be a guest on our show at some point? So I think I will do that.
Oh, and Dan says, isn't it spelled almanac?
Not that I know of.
No.
Oh, you got this.
No, because English is such a wonderful language.
Yes, it is.
We're consistently inconsistent.
You want to do that part?
Sure. Cybersecurity news. First off, it was Patch Tuesday this week.
Mine showed up today.
Yeah. And so everyone's got some major updates this week if they haven't already rebooted your computer. Unless you have Windows 10. Windows 10 did not get them. So this is the first time that Windows 10 is not getting their updates unless you're on one of the extension programs, which you can do it. We mentioned it. I mentioned it before, but they're not great. The extension programs aren't great. So you might as well just bite the bullet and get Windows 11. And get a computer.
We're going here?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, it's still not doing it. They changed something again. I don't know why, because I removed mine. Can you add yours?
No.
All right. Well, let's try to remove. One moment, please.
There it is.
Hey, all right.
Okay. This isn't quite cyber security, but apparently this just gives you an idea of what else is going on out there. Criminals are impersonating U.S. health insurance providers and Chinese law enforcement to target Chinese speakers residing in the U.S. And this is a phone scam. They call you up talking about insurance charges that haven't been paid, and then put you through to a quote Chinese law enforcement person, unquote, and basically try to get people to either pay it or bribe them to ignore it or whatever.
So is this more like a phishing or a social engineering
it's
or
just,
something?
Yeah, social engineer. It's just straight up scam. And they're using scare tactics because, people from China kind of expect that sort of thing from the Chinese government. So,
Yeah.
in fact, is this done by the Chinese government? Who knows? I know a lot of the
Wouldn't put it past them.
a lot of the hacking groups are actually government sponsored over there. So,
yeah.
Is it, even if it's not done by the Chinese government, I doubt very much that this could happen in China without the Chinese government knowing about it and giving it the okay.
That makes sense.
Another piece of news that on the face of it isn't really cybersecurity. The Louvre.
I read part of this.
Yeah. And okay, so that's just straight up theft, right? Except that they go, the security cameras, the system for the security cameras were protected by weak passwords such as Louvre.
As in the Louvre.
Yeah. And Thals, which is the name of the software that they're
They
using.
could have used password and been more protected.
Yeah. Especially in France where it wouldn't be the word password.
Right.
Normally. But so, again, this is not a cybersecurity article, but Lordy folks, do something with your passwords.
Well, the strange part to me is it's not a small operation. It's the Louvre. I mean, I'm sure they have millions of euros and donor. I mean, it's not
No.
It's not a mom pop shop.
Some of the biggest organizations have the worst problems with this.
Yeah.
Unless they focus on security, and cybersecurity, because I think they're so focused on keeping hands off of stuff and having physical eyes on people that they, here's this nifty new layout. None of us are trained in it. Let's just give it a quick password so that we can start using this nifty new thing. Yeah.
Yeah, security needs to be baked in. I mean,
Yeah,
it really does.
So
especially in this day and age.
Yeah, just use this as a hint.
Cautionary tale.
Yeah, cautionary tale.
Okay.
Passwords. I mean,
don't make them too simple.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, no.
Here are some things that are very common in passwords that make it easy for, the systems that, that try to break your password go. Most people complicate a password by, substituting letters for numbers for letters, like O becomes 0, L becomes 1 or something like that. It's all the programs know that now. Also,
okay,
people tend to capitalize the first letter. They put a number on the end and either an exclamation point or a pound sign following it.
Ah.
And that gets them all of their stuff. Thing is that if they can spot the thing on the end and determine if it's a pound sign or exclamation point, then they can reverse engineer the cipher.
Ah, okay.
And make sense out of all the rest. Again, also, first character capitalized helps them. It gives them fewer things. So, if you want to make it a little bit more secure, a 2-word password, the number and special character are between the 2 words, and the second word is capitalized. That will make it
second letter.
Second word.
Second word.
Because,
the first letter of the second word.
Yeah, because they can never, because without knowing the structure of the password, they won't know where that capital letter is. So it makes it one still easy to remember.
Well, a lot of things now are asking for 10 digits instead of just 8.
Right. And
so you got all kinds of room to play around.
Right. Well, and plus, hey, an 8-character password with 3 digits and a special character stuck on the end, it turns an 8-character password into a 12-character password. And that's what most people do. So if you just move those to the middle somehow and move the capital somewhere else, you've got much stronger password.
Okay. You want to do some comments real quick?
Sure.
Dan goes, an almanac is an archaic spelling of almanac, which is an annual publication containing a calendar, astronomical data, meteorological predictions, and other useful information.
Yep.
Hey, Dawn, welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to be so real with you guys. I am tripping balls on acid, and this topic is starting to make me tweak out. Okay. How about tripping balls security? Dan, all the security talk is making me tweak. Are we good? Nerd caps. All right. Again, they don't need us, Jeff. All right, so why don't you do this part here? Unless you got more for the
no.
Louvre article. Okay.
No, that's all. So you got to do the cybersecurity.
Nope, you're up there. You're up there.
Oh, okay.
See where it's highlighted?
That one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chaz isn't the only one. Well, no, Chaz actually has an excuse. I don't. Okay, so it is the last call. Zoom, cover your ears, or Chaz, cover your ears. The word that I'm looking at is Zoom. November 19th at 12 noon Pacific time, we have a Zoom cybersecurity events and Q&A session where we talk about and email me and I'll put you on the invite list. It is a Zoom meeting and it is invite only. So if you want on it, just email me and I'll make sure that you're on the list.
Awesome. All right. So I want to also talk to you about something I've been subscribed to for a while. I was testing it out, but we, Jeff's actually got these every Friday at like 5 a.m. they come out, and it's basically a cyber tips. I've been reading them and kind of testing them out, and honestly, these are really good. He is not producing these though, so just so you know, this one is about top 10 list for keeping your mobile phone secure. This week, here are 10 easy tips on mobile phone security. Lock your device with a PIN or password. Uninstall apps you don't use. Only download apps from trusted sources. Keep your phone's operating system updated. Install antivirus software. Use your phone's Find Me feature to prevent loss or theft. Cover the camera. Back up your data. Encrypt the data. Don't click on links or attachments. I mean, it's really wonderful. Every Friday morning, these come out. And you can get on this list as well. Again, that email will do the same thing. Just has to be put on the cyber tips. I think it's drip tips, cybersecurity tips, something. Just ask for tips. That'll do it. Jeff will know what that means.
Yeah, and just so you know,
he can add you to the list of getting those emails.
Pam mentioned I'm not generating this list, so I can't claim that it's mine. But I think it's a good list. So we found it, and since I run an IT company, I figured my customers would like to see it. So I'm putting it out to anyone who.
Well, and that's part of why I subscribe, so I can test it. Right. And I don't know if you'll get the first one, like I got the first one several months ago, really, or if you'll get like the ones coming up next, like the ones I would get now. So I'm not sure which way they're going to go. But if you want to get those cybersecurity tips, just ask us. We'll be able to put you on the list. Yeah, we got more.
Yeah. So Dan says the future of security is skin deep. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's Chaz says, question for Pam and Jeff. Did you guys do LSD back in the day? Genuinely curious.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I can say no, I haven't.
Why didn't you say what I said? Then
I'm just going to be straight up with it.
Okay.
I'm the square of the pair. But it never had the opportunity. I knew someone who had done it. He was fine, mostly. And most of my friends said that I didn't need to. So there you go.
You're on your own brain.
Yep.
I can see that.
Yeah. Inner space is the not space program. Yes.
All right. So we're at that point. It's also highlighted.
That thing right there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, folks, just read it for yourselves. It's right there. Okay. tonight.
He's the square and I'm the straight man. Please do proceed.
Tonight. Let's see if I can get through this. Pam is doing a profile of Margaret W. Rossiter. We'll be back in 8.3 seconds. There's a link to that book in the description. If you want a signed copy of the book, write Pam at everydayspacer.com for details. Right there. And about this person that Pam's doing the profile on Facebook, from someone who calls themselves the
Inspirist?
Inspirist. Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I got the link.
Pam has the link.
Maybe you'll be able to see this because I don't know who this is. I don't know why I'm getting it in Facebook, so you might be able to see it.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's stuck together, so it should be a clickable link all in one piece.
Yep. So according to the Inspirist, Margaret W. Rossiter didn't just study history, she transformed it. In 1993, she revealed a hidden truth, the Matilda Effect, the systematic erasure of women's scientific achievements. She named it for the suffragist and abolitionist Matilda Joslyn Gage, who had warned the world more than a century earlier. Rossiter spent decades sifting through archives, letters, and forgotten works, uncovering women who labored without pay, recognition, or even the right to claim their discoveries. Her 3-volume Women Scientists in America is more than research. It's a reclamation. Her work sparked programs ensuring today's women in STEM received credit, publication, and remembrance. Honors like the Sarton Medal, the MacArthur Fellowship, and a Guggenheim recognized her.
Must be some medal, I don't know.
Yeah, it just doesn't make grammatical sense, but that's what they wrote. Yet the Rossiter History of Women in Science Prize best embodies her mission. Through decades of dedication, Margaret Rossiter didn't just restore names. She made sure that the world could never claim ignorance again.
And we do have another comment here. Thank you so much, Daniel. I am feeling much better.
Yeah.
Poor Jeff went through it after Friday, so.
Yeah, she gave it to me. We share.
Oh, boy, yeah. All right, you know what? I better cue this up.
Okay.
So, it's quite surprising how much information there is on Facebook of this nature. Okay, here we go again. There it is. Yay. So, I've probably seen this particular one about a half a dozen times on Facebook. I figured it's time to talk about her and what she brought to the world. I do have a number of tabs lined up. So this is a different one. The Two Pennies is this source. They talk about her a little bit similar to the other one too, but I guess if you're in the sphere and you're asking about other women, your male colleagues might be sitting there going, well, there aren't any other women unless somebody goes, Marie Curie, remember? But she actually dug up all kinds of different things about women from all kinds of different places. And she did name this after this Matilda Joslyn Gage, who has an interesting connection as well. But yeah, a lot of this is what Jeff read in the introduction. The books. There's 3 volumes, Women Scientists in America, and they're just loaded. I mean, there's thousands of women in there that we can actually understand what their role is and why they were important. So yeah, and this is the one from the Inspirist. So there it is. If you check that link that I sent, yeah, it's kind of the same sort of information. In 1993, she revealed a hidden truth, the Matilda Effect, which actually was a phrase she coined, the systematic erasure of women's scientific achievements. But yeah, there's so much to this. It's really quite something. So here's a page for her, which I don't know why they don't have a picture. So many of these do. But they talk about her as being an American historian of science based at Cornell. She coined this term, Matilda Effect, in 1993 to describe this phenomenon that we don't really know who these women are. I mean, we know a lot of different things, but we don't necessarily connect them with the woman, or even like Jeff was saying the other day, the kind of men who weren't the the head scientist kind of person. So there's lots of people behind all this work. We just don't know about them. So they talk about her family, her brother Charles and her, where they were in Massachusetts, and her parents. Her father was an officer during the World War II, and they lived in military housing near army bases, but eventually got to Boston, Massachusetts, back in Malden. And her father taught high school history there. So she first discovered history of science as a high school student. So she was at this for a very, very long time. She was more interested in the stories of the scientists than the actual experiments, because in lab sections we could rarely get the actual experiments to come out right. I take it the same. Yeah, I can understand that. So she did go on to become a National Merit Scholar in '62. Went to Radcliffe to study mathematics, and she switched majors to chemistry and then history of science. Ultimately graduating in 1966. While studying Radcliffe, she developed an interest in the history of American science, a field that was just beginning to be explored. Yeah, we got a comment?
Couple comments, yeah.
Okay, good.
Hello, Hein.
Hey, welcome.
And Chaz, what specific endpoint telemetry indicators should security analysts monitor to identify early stages of fileless in-memory persistence mechanisms deployed through advanced living off the land binary?
That's going to be a you thing. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Well, for one thing, in-memory and persistence mechanisms are almost mutually exclusive. In-memory wipes whenever you turn off the computer.
Oh.
Persistent mechanisms have to be written somewhere. So, but for in-memory stuff, aside from scanning memory all the time, which is intensive, resource intensive, the only real way to do it is by trapping behaviors. Like if something does something that isn't normal, then it flags it and isolates it. The other thing would be to have certain resources that are used, either remove them so that they can't be used by living off the land means using, like, say, Windows programs that are built into Windows to do their dirty work for them.
Living off the land means something very different to me.
Right, yeah. But it's living off the land in the computer.
Okay.
So the malware lives off of the stuff that's in there. They don't
actually
load stuff in there. They just run things in specific combinations to do what they want. So
looks like Daniel's got something to say about that too.
So it's the other thing that you can do is, things that are commonly used, poison them so that they only look like they're doing what the malware wants and throws up a warning whenever it tries to get used.
And that's the short answer?
Yes.
Okay.
There isn't a really good answer to it.
Okay.
So Dan says the food chain is the living off the land binary. Yeah. Escapade Mars spacecraft. I know that.
I don't know. That seems kind of random to me. Please explain more.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So after graduating from Radcliffe, Rossiter spent the summer working for the Smithsonian. She actually had a lot of trouble getting jobs, but she did get a lot of grants and stuff. She got a master's degree at University of Wisconsin-Madison. After that, she moved to History and Science Department at Yale. And she continued to work on the American scientific history and earned a second, and the MPhil, I had to look at this. It was a Master of Philosophy. So this woman has 2 master's degree and a PhD. So she ultimately ended up in agricultural science. Very interesting. I mean, there's a whole range of things. So I think that actually kind of set her up very well to study these women in science, because she didn't necessarily have to stick to one siloed thing or other. She had this kind of broad spectrum background in all these different things.
Survey instead of specialize.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. So, she published The Emergence of Agricultural Science. And this was they reference it up here, American Scientists in Germany. Justus Liebig and the Americans, 1840 to 1880. Yale University Press, 1975. Comments were made by several reviewers. The text is limited to mini biographies of these different people and is lacking a study of economic impact of regions beyond the states of New York, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. Well, if that's what the book is about, though.
Yeah. And just so you know,
sort of nitpicking to me.
agricultural science at that time period
probably pretty new.
That was Germany.
Got it.
And that was what led Germany to be the chemistry masters of that time.
Okay.
Of figuring out artificial fertilizers, and the chemistry involved in that allowed for the chemistry of a lot of other things. So
okay,
there's a lot. They were probably the scientific cornerstone of the world during that time period.
Okay, they don't reference it particularly for Germany here, but they talk about it here.
Yeah.
Study of soils, plant physiology, very substantial addition to our knowledge of sciences in America. So kind of a mixed bag on reviews. Reminds us how badly we need parallel studies of the sophistication for the plant sciences. So really, this really is different from her other degrees. I mean, she was very interested in all kinds of different sciences. So here it is about her career. She's while studying at Yale.
Oh, that's probably what got her onto it. Where it says the omission of all but a passing reference to Evan Pugh seems strange. It was at least as important. So this was what possibly got her on the track of, okay, who else isn't mentioned?
Okay, interesting. So here it is. This is while studying Yale, Rossiter once asked at the weekly informal gathering of her department's professors and students, were there ever women scientists? She received an authoritative reply, no, there were not any such women who could be considered were just working for a male scientist. With one person referring to Marie Curie as the only exception. And actually, there's a good reason for that. Marie Curie is the only scientist to win the Nobel Prize in two different kinds of scientists. And other members of her family have won Nobel Prizes. So, this woman has lots of accolades. Upon graduation, she received a fellowship at the Charles Warren Center for Studies in American History at Harvard. I mean, look at this, Harvard, Yale, all these different organizations. She was probably really well known all over the place in these academic circles.
Mm-hmm.
So it's at this point that she began to focus on the history of women in American science. She uncovered hundreds of such women when, in preparation for a postdoctoral study of 20th century American science, she delved into the reference work of American men in science, now called American Men and Women of Science. I think I have that one up here, right there. So there's a whole reference of that in Wikipedia as well. So this just goes on and on. I mean, she's really got such a huge spectrum of understanding. That's where she found out about more women. Hidden inside were by the biographies of 500 women scientists. The discoveries spurred her Charles Warren Center Fellowship Talk Women Scientists in America before 1920, which she published in the magazine American Scientist after it was rejected by Science and Scientific American. I think this one's still around, but I don't know about Scientist too. The American Scientist. Oh, that's probably still around too.
Yeah, I don't know that one, but I know Science was at least around 10 years ago.
Right.
So it's probably still around.
It says is the peer-reviewed and Scientific American, formerly abbreviated SciAm, is. It's okay. So it looks like they're all still around.
Yeah.
So, because of this, she continued her research in this area, despite a lukewarm reception from both the scientific and historical communities. So it's sort of a crossover. I don't think this was very common back then either. Mm-hmm. Now it's much more common that scientists will cross over different fields like this, and it takes them to different places that
I
are
don't know
actually
that
very.
I don't know if that's more common. I think there's just more scientists, so the total number of them is higher. But I think as a percentage, I think most of them still specialize.
Okay. Seemed like I had heard somewhere that it was more common
Oh,
to have
maybe.
these more crossover kind of weird combinations.
Well, if you read that, then that trumps my grok of it. Not
Right. She took a visiting professor position at UC Berkeley. I mean, look at all these. She prepared her dissertation for publication. Then she turned her attention to a new book on women scientists. So, yeah, all this windy path has taken her to this really stupendous work, really 3 volumes of women in science. Despite being told by some women scientists that there was nothing to study, she found a wealth of information. Yeah, see, she thought it was going to be a single book, but it actually grew into a 3-volume project. So here it is. She still wasn't able to get a tenure track position working off grants, which I think is pretty impressive in itself, because you have to be, write for those grants. You have to apply for them. So she made her living by working off of these project grant things. She received here it is, Guggenheim Fellowship. They're awarded annually since 1935. By the Simon Guggenheim Memorial Foundation. Cool. And that allowed her to continue her work, which those usually come with money, right?
Yeah.
Do we got comments?
Yeah. Dan. Could scientists be adrenaline junkies? I know something no one else knows. No, I think it's more scientists going, my science is bigger than your science.
Oh boy.
But
so she published this first volume, Women Scientists in America, Struggles and Strategies to 1940. And all these titles are a little bit different, with Johns Hopkins University Press in 1982. The book was well received, including positive reviews in the New York Times, Nature and Science. So that's the first book. And this is great because she was asked to run the National Science Foundation's program on the history and philosophy of science, while as director took a year's leave, 82, 83, and in 83, 84, she was a visiting professor at Harvard, where she continued work on her second volume. I mean, this is just amazing. She's never had like a real solid individual job, position, tenure, nothing. It's been all these different things all over the place. But she managed to impress enough of the right people to get these jobs, to get these grants.
I just
so
realized
interesting.
She was a visiting professor at Harvard when I started college.
Yeah?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, it probably is somewhat.
Yeah, look at this. She applied for, and this is at National Science Foundation, visiting professorships for women program, and received a 1-year appointment to Cornell. She did stretch it to 2 years, 86 to 88. They agreed to keep her on for another 3 years, but her funding was split between 3 departments, including women's studies, agriculture, and history. So at this point, she's like, I guess I'm a 78. If you don't know what that is, it's a record from a record player. Yep. On a 33 world. That's the speed. 78 RPM versus 33 RPM. So she became a MacArthur Fellow when she was at Cornell in 89. They still wouldn't hire her. Yeah, despite significant public and faculty pressure, the university refused to hire her, stating that she could not be given an appointment because she was not in any department. So she finally gets an offer from this University of Georgia for a 10-year position and substantial research budget. What did she do, though? She stayed. I don't know, maybe because Cornell is more prestigious.
Right, and she could probably get more recognition for her projects there. Basically lends her works more prestige.
Well, it sounds like she leveraged that. Let's see.
Well, yeah, it looks like she used the offer of the University of Georgia as a takeaway to get Cornell's admin to finally.
Yeah, they finally decided to keep her. They created an endowed chair for her at the same time that a new Department of Science and Technology studies was being created that included history and philosophy of science and technology. That was what was behind her appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, secure at Cornell. What was this? Do we have a year? It's got to be 89, 90, right in there. She completed the research for her second volume. And look at this title, Women Scientists in America Before Affirmative Action, 1940 to 1972. Again, published through Johns Hopkins in 1995. And these are available. I picked up one of them because it was the right price. I would have picked up all three, but they're some of them have huge price tags to them. So let's see. Second volume examined barriers to women's full participation as working scientists from World War II to 72. The thing about World War II is that a lot of women were actually in positions.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as the men came back from World War II, they were bumped out of them.
And there was a kind of a reason for that. You had a whole bunch of men who knew how to fight coming back. You needed to give them something to do.
I suppose that makes sense.
And there were X number of jobs. The women were doing them out of necessity. Some because they wanted to, some because, someone had to do it. And then all these men come back and, let's see. Who do we give the job to? Someone who knows how to shoot a gun and has been doing it for a couple of years, or someone who's been, substituting for them. So
still,
yeah,
and to just bump them out completely.
Well, and here
not a good look.
Here was another part of it, is that we lost a good chunk of our population during the war. They wanted repopulation. They wanted the women home making babies.
Okay.
That's essentially what another reason for that is, that they wanted people making babies.
So, we move on to these. I still don't quite understand this. It doesn't sound right to me. One such barrier was anti-nepotism rules at many colleges and universities. These forbade married men and women to both hold tenured positions. Rossiter cites many examples, but a particularly striking case was that of mathematician Josephine M. Mitchell. When Mitchell was a tenured associate professor at the University of Illinois in the 50s, she married an untenured member of the math department. As a result, she was asked to leave her position, although her husband was able to retain his. Let's see if Josephine. Canadian-American mathematician specializing in mathematical analysis of functions of several complex variables. So this is going to provide us with any amount of profiles we would like to do, Jeff.
Right, yeah. So
crazy. This woman was a tenured associate professor and had to leave.
Yeah, and it was the good old boys club. I mean, let's cut out as much competition as we can. I mean, that's...
So the second volume was also well received, winning the Women's Prize and Pfizer Award, both from the History of Science Society. The Women's Prize was subsequently renamed. This is the one that was renamed. The Margaret W. Rossiter History of Women in Science Prize in honor of Rossiter. The vote on renaming happened in 2004. Yeah, do we have a comment?
Yeah.
Looked like you were moving that way.
Not about this, but so much science funding has been lost during this administration. Yes and no. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any facts on that one.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to look it up though, Daniel. So
yeah.
Hey, if you find something and you want to be a guest on our show,
yeah,
we can do that. So she coined this term, Matilda Effect. It's to describe this whole thing about women getting bumped out of their achievements. Women scientists and inventors whose work is consequently attributed to their male colleagues. It was first described by the suffragist and abolitionist Matilda Joslyn Gage. That was in the 1800s. And it was in her essay, Women as Inventor, First published as a tract in 1870. What's that mean? Tract in 1870? It's an article or something else?
Yeah, it's more like an article.
Okay. Published in the North American Review, retitled "Woman as Inventor" in 1883.
No, well, instead of woman as inventor, woman as an inventor. That was the. They just made it grammatically correct.
So 1870, more than 100 years before this was named Matilda Effect. Matilda Joslyn Gage. Wrote an article about it. So this isn't something new.
Right.
She wrote this. She took over the editorship of ISIS. I've got a tab about that too, and also about Matilda actually. The official journal of the History of Science Society, which she continued until 2003. She continued teaching courses on agriculture, women in science, and the history of science at Cornell until she retired in 2017. Then, look, check this out. Then she became the Marie Underhill Knoll Professor of History of Science Emerita and Graduate School Professor. Rossiter completed her trilogy of women scientists in America with a publication in 2012 of Women Scientists in America, Volume 3, Forging a New World since 1972. And this describes dozens of women who became advocates for the advancement of women in science after the passage of Equal Employment Opportunity of 1972, that act. So, these 3 volumes are finally here. We finally have all 3 volumes in the world, which is great. So let's see, what else do I want you to know about her? I mean, she just won so many awards. All these books. There's lots and lots of publications she's written, not just these 3 volumes, but these were kind of the focus of tonight's episode.
Yeah, I think this paragraph stood out to me when I read it. The fact that the glass ceiling isn't necessarily as much of a phenomena as what she calls hierarchical segregation, where as you move up the ladder, more and more,
here and here.
Yeah, more and more of whatever group, and this happens to a lot of different groups that aren't part of the good old boys club, but every time you go up the ladder, fewer who aren't in the in group are in that tier. So as you go up it, the percentage gets lower and lower. So at the very top, you've only got the ones who are at the very top, same as the ones who are at the very top already. And that's that's a bias that's been going on for flipping forever.
Yeah. You have another comment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Cliff.
Hey, Cliff, welcome.
Oh, back from the
I saw that.
Hospital with a very low white count. Heaps of antibiotics, and we'll be at the hospital for a few days. Get better, Cliff. We're pulling for you here.
Another one?
Yeah. Stay on the right side of the gravity well, Cliff. Yeah.
Let's see, where is that? All right, so yeah, we have some more about that too. Rossiter's work was commended by a woman scientist who noted having spent a lot of money on psychotherapy because people kept telling me I was maladjusted. She died on August 3rd of this year, like just a few months ago. In Salem, Massachusetts, she was 81. She had an infection that was a result of complications from a fall. Look at these awards and honors. 61, 81, 89, 97, 2004, 2022. The George Sarton Medal was the last one. And these are her works. She wrote so many things. So there's a whole body of work out there by her that we can still reference. So there's a whole page on the Matilda Effect. I think we kind of know. But there was one thing I wanted to note in here. You got a comment? I see.
Yeah.
I see a couple things. Yeah.
Yeah. Cliff says thanks for your
prayers
thoughts.
from.
I showed that. But
you did? Okay.
Yeah. So this is what Hein.
Yes.
The
right.
Blue Origin and their escapade mission for the booster landing. Yeah. So this was what Hein was referencing when I didn't.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Shame on me. I didn't recognize the name of the mission.
I knew it was Blue Origin.
And I knew that everyone was celebrating the fact that Blue Origin did what Elon Musk had already done. But, Hi, Naomi.
Yeah, time change. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
I'd be very happy if we stopped that
yeah.
baloney.
But apparently, about half the people want it changed. Another half don't care. And unless you have a huge majority, just because of the way government works, nothing's going to happen. So,
Well, I have an opinion about this. So when Arizona lines up with its own time zone, that's when we should stop, which is like now. We can stop it, so we don't have to spring ahead in the spring. All right. So the one thing I want to mention about in here, which was I read this earlier today, I was like, oh, isn't that interesting? So the Matilda Effect is what they call it when women get bypassed for awards and so forth, and they have a name for when men get passed as well. Here it is, the Matthew Effect, and I was going to wait to look at this when you were here too. So the Matilda Effect was compared to the Matthew Effect, whereby an eminent scientist often gets more credit than a comparatively unknown researcher, even if their work is shared or similar. So let's go ahead and see that real quick.
Well, and a bunch of, low influence, professors working with someone who had higher influence, or even not even working with them, just get totally swiped. It's so common that,
I'm kind of looking, what I'm looking for over here is when this was named. 1968.
Oh, wow.
Something from the Biblical Gospel of Matthew. So I don't really know much about this. Like I said, I was waiting for you to be with me when I looked at this. So maybe we'll look at this another time.
Yeah. Oh, and here.
More comments?
Yeah. Cliff says that was a fantastic landing. Yes, it was very good.
Yeah, I don't think I know anything about it.
Yeah, I saw the landing.
Good.
So Escape and Plasma Acceleration and Dynamic Explorers is a spacecraft mission to Mars consisting of 2 spacecraft known as Blue and Gold, launched in November this year. Yeah, I knew that it was Blue and Gold. I just didn't know the name of the mission and stuff like that. For some reason, Blue and Gold stuck in my mind because, U of M.
My high school colors, too. So here's that book, American Men and Women of Science, bibliographical reference work on leading scientists in the United States and Canada. Published as a series of books and online by Gale. The first edition was published in 1906, and it was called American Men of Science. The work broadened its title to include women in 1971, but women were in there before that. Grace Andrews and Charlotte Angus Scott were listed in the first edition. Grace Andrews, I don't know much about either one of those.
That might be something to look at.
Absolutely. But I'm going to move on because Everyday Spacer is sponsored by CME Computer and IT Solutions. I want to make sure you know that. And here's that ISIS journal that we were talking about that Rossiter took over for a while. Do they say the years in here?
Yeah, first issue is 1913.
No, I mean when Rossiter was.
Oh. But
to present, 1913 to present. This is still around. Wow.
Yeah, and it's interesting that it's been around that long because quite frankly, I hadn't heard of it.
No, I haven't either. Not before this. So I don't want to delve into that too much because we do have a page about Matilda Joslyn Gage. But we kind of know about her already. She's mainly known for her contributions to women's suffrage in the United States and campaigned for Native American rights, abolitionism, and free thought. She's the eponym. Oh, there's a word I don't know. A noun after which or for which someone or something is named. Okay, and we know now it's the Matilda Effect. Describes the tendency to deny women credit for scientific invention. She influenced her son-in-law, L. Frank Baum, the author of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. That's the family connection I wanted to tell you about. Okay. All right, so what's next here? We've got, comments?
Yeah, Dan, your Amazon purchases are showing how to navigate space.
Okay.
Are you talking about the, what was in the description?
Well, Jamie sent me an email earlier today that she got an Amazon email, and the number 6 book was my book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just found out a little bit ago.
Oh.
So, and Daniel must have seen the same thing.
Yeah.
So here it is, and they have the reference to The Wizard of Oz and Frank Baum. So that's kind of interesting. What else do I have here too? Oh, this is the New York Times obituary. Margaret W. Rossiter, 81, dies, wrote Women Scientists into History. In her groundbreaking trilogy, Women Scientists in America, she told the stories of numerous accomplished but largely invisible women. And there's a more modern picture of her. I think they say, 2019. Do we have another comment? It looks like.
Yeah. Dan again.
Oh, yes.
Jeff Bezos was a student of Gerard K. O'Neill.
I think I saw that somewhere.
Yeah. I'm very impressed by O'Neill.
Gerard K. Yeah, he was doing stuff back when. It was way before his time.
If he hadn't gotten sick, I think we would be much farther along than we are now.
Maybe.
Because he was working on things like GPS before there was a GPS, and it kind of fell off the vine because he did.
Yeah. What's remarkable to me is that she died just earlier this year, August 3rd. And they talk about when she fell and about her work on her PhD at Yale. Her focus was on the history of agricultural science. When a comment from one of her male professors during an evening bull session puzzled her, who, she had asked, were the women in science. There were none. And then someone else goes, Marie Curie. This was not an acceptable subject. So, yeah, I love this part. A few years later, while rifling through a directory from 1906, this is that book, American Men of Science, Dr. Rossiter came across a few entries for women. The book's title notwithstanding, the entries were short, but they were there. Why weren't these women better known? She set out to tell their stories and find their peers. I felt like a modern Alice who had fallen down a rabbit hole into a wonderland of the history of science that was familiar in some respects, but distorted and alien in others. For 4 decades, she did this work, these 3 volumes about women. All right, so here's the cover. Volume 1, Struggles and Strategies to 1940. And then I think do they have the other covers here? I'm not sure. Yes, there we go. The other 2 covers. The manuscript grew so long that she realized she would have to break it up into at least 2 volumes. The second, Before Affirmative Action, 1940 to 1970, appeared in 1995, followed by in 2012 by Forging a New World since 1972. So there they are. The other 2 covers.
Stuff has more. There's always someone who gets all the credit from the effort of others who do most of the work, and the manager gets a pat on the back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange system, but how do we deal with it? I think I actually let's see, I think I'm gonna let me look at something. Take us off the share right now. I want to look at the next.
Okay. And
the next thing.
The way to fix it, well, a way to fix it would be to only promote people who don't want a promotion, because most positions of power go to those who seek power, not necessarily those who want to better the group or system. So
I got a little wrap up here and a couple more tabs to show you in a second. We got another comment.
A couple more.
Good.
Oh, and the pay raise, not who really goes not to those who really deserve it.
What's the saying? Those who fail to the top or something?
Yeah. The Peter principle. Yeah. Oh, and
it is Roger.
Hey, Roger. Saving the world before breakfast. Chris, really Roger. Okay, so he's on Chris's account. Yeah. The husband and wife team of Menels did a bunch of things accepting and transcending the women scientist limitation. One of them was the 1,000 angstrom unit Tau
Mm.
project.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a bunch of husband and wife teams out there, including the Curies, both of them, Marie Curie and her daughter. All right, so like I said, I got a little wrap up, a couple more pictures. Go ahead and show this one.
Okay.
How wonderful that there are books we can read to learn about these amazing women who broke stereotypes and more by being scientists against all that was opposing them. I make it a point to see them as much as I see the men. And I'll give you an example. Someone asked me to send correspondence by mail. All of the envelopes were already addressed. And I noticed something very weird. All the fellows who were doctors had the doctor in front of their names, and the women, no. None of them did. And I don't think it's something we do on purpose. It's kind of in the water, as they say. I did carefully restore all of the doctor prefixes to the envelopes where they were missing. I think it's going to require us to just recognize this treatment. Somehow it's not the same and should be. And I'll give you a simple test, which is right in front of you. It's kind of awareness. Nope, that's not where it is. Sorry, I skipped a paragraph. It's simple yet not so simple. I'm sure I still don't correct myself all of the time. I am training myself to add the doctor and remember things like who discovered that hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, and that was Cecilia Payne-Gaspachkin. But we just know that that's a fact. We don't know her name, and we really need to. Yeah, here it comes. By the way, while I was learning about Margaret W. Rossiter, I discovered she had a PhD in the history of science. So this episode was about Dr. Margaret W. Rossiter. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. I think I wanted to be here. Oh boy, so organized.
Yep.
Some nights are better than others. Yeah, we got another comment.
Yeah, just former NSS President Greg Allison has been mailing the videos lately. Oh,
I haven't seen him.
Oh. Okay, we'll have to look him up.
So I want to emphasize here that if there's one name you're going to remember, Dr. Margaret W. Rossiter is the one. Because if you remember her name, then you can find her books, which are here, and you can find out about the other women scientists. And let's see.
The one name that binds them all?
Oh boy. Sure. Why not? And at some point, maybe we'll actually remember them the same way we remember Einstein, Hawking, Newton, and the others. Now here comes the other picture. So a pretty good test is to, when you see something like this photograph of scientists, if you swap them out, a woman for each man, does it seem weird to you? Like, would they all be women and one man, for example? If that is the case, you might be experiencing the Matilda effect. And it might be good to realize that, oh, there's probably a lot more women involved. I mean, for one thing, a lot of these guys had the women doing the work for them.
Right.
I mean, they just did. So they made the discoveries. And yeah, the guys got the credit. Mm-hmm. But that happens like with the Matthew effect.
Right, yeah.
I'll have to look into that more. I didn't really see much about it until today, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it happens with both genders. It's just now we're looking at it with the women. But I think just because there are more men in the field, it happens to more men than women. But as a percentage of the men that it happens to versus the percentage of the women it happens to, I think it happens to more women as a percentage than men.
I'm not sure, but I think it's not right either way you look at it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a lot of things now, you'll see a whole bunch of names. Like when we watch Anton's videos. Mm-hmm. You know, the things he'll reference, they'll have a whole bunch of names. And it's usually like first initial, last name. So you really don't even know.
Right, yeah.
You want to do this part?
Sure. Why not? Some stellar events this week. November 14th through November 21st. The Globe at Night project continues through November 20th. In the Northern Hemisphere, look for Perseus. In the Southern Hemisphere, look for Grus.
If you can. Like here, it's been raining.
Yeah, it's been raining.
And it's going to rain for days.
Yeah. So go outside. with your cell phone, and assuming you can see the sky, use the Globe at Night app to tell them what the Bortle rating of your.
I think you can even say it's raining too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janie, very much. We really appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
So I think you're on that one, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Look for auroras. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Through the clouds.
Shine. Well, here's the one way to do it. Shine very bright colored lights at the clouds. Then it'll look like auroras, right?
Oh, we got another comment. You ready?
Yeah.
Tau not done yet. It could put an instrument out far enough to use trigonometry to actually measure the distance to nearby stars to check the blue and red shifts. Not yet been totally confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole hierarchy of determining stellar distances. Yep. That was one of my first talks. I was like, how do they know?
Yeah.
So I committed to doing a talk, and I had to do the research to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, using the trigonometry has been a method that's been around since the ancient Greeks.
Stack. Yeah.
Oh,
you know what? Is 3i Atlas causing solar effects? I don't know what that means, solar effects. What do you mean, Dan? Dan?
I think the sun's been acting up long before Atlas came in, and
they're like they can see it now when they said, "Oh, we're not going to be able to see it for 6 weeks." What?
No. Well, they're saying, here's what they're saying is that it could have exploded.
Okay.
Well, okay. It's behind the sun. We can't see it. It also could have turned into a giant banana. That's as.
I think the first is more likely than the second.
But it's just as true because we can't see it.
True.
We won't know until, and so you can make
whatever. Like December, early December.
Yeah, you can make whatever clickbaity headline you want.
And people are.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like, it's done this, it's done that. How do you know? Are you on the other side of the sun? No. So, okay. Yeah.
Oh. Why don't you get through this before we do more comments?
Yeah. The first one that I saw.
So you can get through it.
First one that I saw, I actually went through and looked at their profile and looked at the other articles that they had. It's like, oh, okay. Go. This thing could be this. Yeah, you're right. Sure. November 14th, moon is at descending node. November 15th, moon is on the equator. Well, of course, it's descending. It lands on the equator. It just gets stuck there.
Yeah.
Eventually, it bounces off.
Go.
November 17th, we've got a meteor shower, assuming we can see it.
It'll be there.
Yeah.
Whether you can see it or not.
Yeah. It's the Leonids, and it started November 6th, and it will go through the 30th, and it'll peak over the night of November 17th, 18th.
It's Monday to Tuesday.
Yeah. And they say to look after midnight. It appears to be coming from Leo, and the peak rate is 10 to 20 per hour.
Not that impressive.
Yeah, not that impressive. But it's coming from 55 Temple Tuttle.
55p.
55p, sorry.
Tuttle. And there's a great thing in the Farmer's Almanac. I'm not going to read it for you tonight, though. Jeff can pick up here. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
I said finish. I said finish before those.
Yeah.
Finish. Then we'll get to those.
Yeah. Okay.
Jeez.
Also, another thing that'll make it easy to see, assuming it's not raining, is that the moon is in a waning crescent.
Yeah, it won't come up for hours.
So and not only not up for hours, but it'll be really dim, so it won't outshine them. But look east after midnight. Also, Spica is at 1.2 degrees north of the moon. So that's something to look at for too. So you can find the moon with a waning crescent. November 19th, the moon is at apogee, and Venus and the moon are in conjunction. November 20th is a new moon, and Mercury and the moon are in conjunction, of which you'll see you'll get enough Earth shine on the moon to be able to see it. But, it's kind of like, the moon's dark, but Mercury's in conjunction with it, so you can see Mercury, and I guess that's where the moon is. But now there's enough Earth shine. Also, Mercury
You
is
okay?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Chaz. No, I did not ever take LSD. Any neurological effects have no relation.
They come
to that.
naturally.
Um,
Please finish.
Also, Mercury is at inferior conjunction. November 21st, Mars and the Moon are in conjunction, and Uranus is at opposition. Also, on the 21st is our Friday night show, and I will look at a crunchy topic. Find us Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the Everyday Spacer Facebook page and the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel.
Maybe. The Facebook page has failed again tonight. But what inspires you the most for the coming week? If you or someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live. Join us again next Friday, November 21st. Jeff found articles that provide evidence that the expansion of the universe is slowing down. And I think I caught something about that too. Mm-hmm. So he's going to go into that.
Yeah. And this, for me, is kind of an I told you so.
Seemed weird that it would just go on forever. What?
Well, no, accelerate. The expansion's accelerating.
Okay,
yeah.
That part. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to show them?
Because it made the math work well.
I see.
Okay.
Yes, we add fiddly bits when the math doesn't work. So.
Yeah. Okay, Roger says, can't see much sky because of rain clouds in Southern California, but I won't complain for the first few inches. We need it. Yep. And Dan, I'm a pattern recognition specialist.
Yep, peoples are good at that.
Yep.
That's why they have us do the citizen science projects on places like the universe.
Yep.
All right, so we had a great crowd here tonight. Thank you so much, Daniel and Roger and Janie and Dawn and Scott and
Naomi.
And Naomi was here. Cliff was here. Did we miss anybody? I think we got everybody.
Do you say Scott?
I think so. Scott.
Okay.
Scott was here. Jerry. Yep. Oh, here's Chaz Baker.
Chaz. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Let's make sure. Let's be thorough. I think we got everybody. Yep. And just so you know, it is always.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I saw Quagmire, but that was Scott. So.
Yeah. It is always a better show when you are here to help us out and look things up. Cosmic healing to Cliff. I like that. So yes, please continue to come back for the crunchy topic next week. And we've got some potential guests. Maybe, I got to follow up on them because we've had about 50 some, and we've probably asked about 50 other people who have not yet been a guest on our show yet. So we could do a lot more guests. If I ask them again.
They're guests. They just don't know it yet. They have not realized the inevitable.
I see. All right, folks, we will continue. Anything else from you?
You better hope not.
I'm good. We will continue to watch for your comments as well. Thank you so much for being here, folks. Have a great week, and we'll see you on Friday.
Good night.
Good night.